Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to AussieVerse Comics and Collectors, where we are discussing whether Superman is still relevant. If you do like our content, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel so that we can get to our 400 subscriber giveaway, where one lucky winner will be getting a $100 Amazon gift card that they can use to spend whatever the hell they want. If you do like our content, as I said, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you're not going to consider liking and subscribing, then please hit us up on Instagram at AussieVerse_comics and collectors, where you can also find our graphic designer, our thumbnail professional, and our editor, A51 Designs. All right, that is all I've got to say about our plugging. Let's get down to the loving. Is Superman a relevant character? Grodd and Ryan, take it away, boys.
I'll let Mark kick this off.
I was going to let you go, Ryan, because this is a question, obviously, that you've put out there. So
okay,
I'm interested to see what your, because there's, for me, it's a simple answer, but it's not always the obvious one.
I'd say it's a bit more of a complex answer than I'm going to give. I'd say he's not really relevant to a younger demographic as much anymore as he once was, because a lot of people, particularly my age, just find Superman boring. They just go, he can do everything. That's really boring. He's just so vanilla ice cream in terms of personality. This character, he's just very Boy Scouty. He's, again, to use it again, uninteresting, is what a lot of people would say.
Is that the character or the writing?
The character, I would say. And it doesn't help that most of the interpretations of Superman that have come out in the last decade or so have just been garbage.
Right.
Especially New 52 Superman just being emo, pretty much.
Wearing
being emo and sad and single all the time. With no marriage, no kids.
But he did
no parents.
Wonder Woman. And that is an accomplishment in itself.
Okay, I'll take back the single part, but that doesn't fix the emo, the brooding.
The regular guy, Steve Trevor, did, so we've got a chance. All right, so my one, I guess, to get the full scope of what I think about this question, I'm going to have to go way back. So this could be a bit of a long story, so I'll try and keep it short as I can. So me growing up in a very small country town of 2,000 people, I didn't read comics because we didn't have a comic book store. We had one post office, one supermarket. That's it for the whole town. 3 pubs though, but but so I didn't really grow up reading comics. I just loved the movies and stuff like that. So I enjoyed, my old man was a massive Superman fan, so I was able to stay up late and watch the Superman 70s movies and stuff like that. So I always remembered that. Then going up to older and stuff like that, I have struggled reading and writing a little bit. So I need to read to sort of see words and stuff like that. And I went through autobiographies of like musicians I love and stuff like that, but it all sort of seemed stale to me. I would get sick of it. So I went to comics eventually, and we're talking about now, we're in about 2016, 2015. And so, because then I could sort of see, and it kept me interested, and I can see the actions come out. So this is how I got into comics again. I always watched the movies, I always loved the characters. So I started Rebirth in DC. And as you go through that, you're picking your characters that you want to, I tried to do it off nobody recommended it, what I thought I'd be drawn to. And Superman, I thought exactly like Ryan just then. That does not seem interesting to me. I want to read Batman. I want to read Green Lantern. I want some action. I don't want a simple fight and stuff like that. And so a couple of years went past. So so we're talking about 2018 now, and I decided to go back and get trades for action, and my mind completely changed. It was more about like the characters that help Superman, and sorry, just mute me, Mike, and more about how he lifts people up to be better selves. And the fact of Superman could wipe out anybody or the planet, and he doesn't. He just be so true to himself, and it's very inspirational. And just sometimes you need to read that. For me personally, just to keep your hopes up and stuff like that. And it is now just a regular thing that I read month to month, Action Comics, which is a Superman comic. But I understand Ryan's point, because I have friends that are not into the comics but are into the movies, and they go, don't you think Superman's kind of boring? Like, what challenge does he have, or stuff like that? But if you dig deep into us comic book fans and we read it monthly, or if we go back and read heaps of stories, Superman's very interesting, like story-wise. But trying to sell it is a bit harder. So go ahead, Bug.
I will quickly re-interject here. That Rebirth era Superman, best Superman published in the last decade and a half, easily.
Right. I enjoyed it.
The reason why I will always be adamant about Superman being important is because we all have different sides to our personality. No matter how different that we are, we all have our what we call inner critic. We all have our side of our personality that boosts our ego. We all have the side of our personality that talks down to ourselves and says what we're constantly doing wrong all the time. The reason why Clark Kent Superman, and is the exact same reason why I say Peter Parker Spider-Man, will always be eternal and will always matter, is because no matter how you're feeling about your own world, no matter how you're feeling about your own life, and no matter how you're feeling about your own self, characters like Superman, Clark Kent, and characters like Spider-Man, Peter Parker, will always remind you to be a better human being, and will always want to inspire you to be a better human being. You can read characters like Batman and Punisher and Wolverine, and you can think they are cool as fuck. And I wouldn't disagree with you. They are cool as hell. However, when you read characters like Superman and Spider-Man, there is a part of you that I don't care how cynical you are, I don't care how depressing you are, or however negative opinion you have on life, there is always going to be a part of you that looks up to a character like that and wishes that you could be like that. Now, in saying that, there is obviously a big part of the personality that wishes you could be like the Punisher. You wish that you could go out there and just kill these bad motherfuckers, that are out there. There are people that wish they could be like Wolverine and go out there and just slash and claw people that are wrong and evil, and you're bringing justice. But realistically as well, I find it very hard to believe that there is not a huge majority of people out there that at least would not love to be a Clark Kent Superman, where they are a symbol of hope. They go out there and they better mankind by inspiring them with a simple a simple insignia, and make humankind want to be like you by always looking on the positive side and always looking on the heart. The glass is half full as opposed to half empty side. And that's the thing that Superman brings to the table. He might not have the best rogues gallery. It might be a bit boring after reading him for years and years and thinking he doesn't have that many threats and things. And it's always the same thing where Superman loses his powers a bit. And that way he's a bit more, you know, it can be beaten a bit more. But at the end of the day, Clark Kent and Peter Parker, I know this is a Clark Kent video and I apologize, but both of them go hand in hand with me in saying that they are the most inspirational human beings, pardon the pun, because Clark is an alien, of all time.
Well
Do you
said.
hear what
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, no, that's right.
I would say everything you just said is correct. But I want to know what the comments have to say about this. Let us know down in the comments if you think Superman is still a relevant character in our modern age. Yep.
Sorry, Ron. We know us as comic book fans what Superman is, and that's exactly what Beau perfectly put. But how are we ever going to sell Superman to somebody that doesn't want to read comics? Somebody that's going to be the hardest pitch.
I think there are two ways to go about it. One, you always make the villain the same or more powerful than Superman. Or
Lex Luthor.
Hey?
Lex Luthor.
Or you write stories like Superman Grounded, J. Michael Straczynski.
Yeah, but that's bad Superman.
Yeah, but it's not about him fighting villains. It's about him inspiring mankind.
Oh, so as I said, like, how are we going to convince people to go watch more Superman movies?
If you just have a movie about Superman going around inspiring people, people will get bored.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I'm talking about in comic book form, though. You know, like I think comic book form is a lot different to a movie. A movie, I think the only way Superman is going to be exciting and relevant is if you have a villain that poses a threat.
Well, I guess that's the main question. I mean, like, us as comic book fans, if other people watching are comic book fans, obviously they've read Superman, surely. It's just part of being a comic book fan. So, but yeah, it's what I'm saying. Like, say, if you've got friends out there that are not in the comic books, they're not even interested in it, how are we going to sell Superman? So we go to the movies and there's a decision between Batman and Superman. How are you going to try and outsell Superman to your friends?
Well, first of all, I would love to live in your world, Grodd, where there is a Superman and a Batman film at the movies at the same time, because that would be amazing.
A better question is too, in Batman versus Superman, who are you barracking for?
Oh, Superman all the way.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Batman. Human versus alien. Batman.
Batman.
Why would you be going for Batman?
Man versus alien.
No way. See, you see Man versus Alien, and I see man that has been born on a planet that knows everything about the planet, and you can't beat him no matter what, because he's the greatest detective and the greatest superhero without powers that ever lived, versus a guy that can nearly do anything and can destroy humankind, can destroy the whole planet, but decides not to because he's a better human being than any human being that's on the planet.
And then
you know what? Hold the Batman versus Superman talk. We should do this as another video.
I was going to say that's what ends up being Superman's weakness, is that he wants to be better and not kill, and that's always why Lex Luthor has a chance.
How is that a weakness?
It's his weakness against villains. It's his weakness against villains.
Oh, I beg to differ.
I never said it's a weakness in humankind. It's a weakness against his foes, which is why.
Yeah, so, but if you're admitting that it's a weakness in his foes, then you're admitting that when villains put human life on the line, he should be turning around and saying, "Fuck it, I've got to stop the villain."
Okay.
Well, if you've watched this far, I would like to thank you for watching this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to AussieVerse. Get us to that 400 subscriber giveaway. You guys can hopefully win some goodies. And what is AussieVerse?
For life.